Hello everyone, I'm Selene, and today I'm going to be wishing for columbina. Before I get to the wishing, I like to do a wishing ritual, but if you want to skip that, there will be a timestamp in the description. So let's get to it. Right now I have the Traveler, Nahida, and Aino in the party. I have the Traveler mainly because columbina is so close with them. Then I have Aino because she's the only other not correct character I have. And Nahida, mainly because Columbina, I think in her voice line, said she'd like to meet the Archons. And also, both Nahida and Dottore, Columbina and Dottore, have had problems with each other, so I think they'd get along. So I always like to start my wishing ritual by getting my fortune. And then once I get my fortune, I look at whatever item it says, the lucky item, and then I go get that. So let's do that first. So we have a good fortune, so that makes me feel pretty good. And the lucky item is crystal flies or the crystal fly core. So I'm thinking Mondstadt and kind of near where Diluc lives, I think would be a pretty good place. And as you can see, I accidentally clicked on the statue, but that's okay. We should still get the crystal fly, and that'll be done really quick. And then we can find the perfect spot for wishing for columbina. Originally, I was going to wish in the Silver Moon Hall, but I actually decided against it because I was thinking that we had Moon Prayer Night in the town of Notcry, so I think that was much better, at least in my opinion. So she could relive all the memories and think about, wow, what a good time I have. At least that's my thought process. I'm really excited to finally be pulling on a banner again. The last banner I pulled on was Skirk's banner, and that was about 6 months ago. So I have been saving for about 6 months. I have enough to guarantee her, but of course, I would like to win my 50-50 to pretty much, just have more primo gems for more characters. I think around here is kind of where I want to wish because this was where the Jotoko carousel ride was, I think. And that was a really cute scene. So I think this is a nice place. Okay, so enough waiting, enough stalling. It's time we wish on Columbina's banner.
Hey there, I'm Aoife, a Sorrow vet from the Flower Feather Clan. You've probably heard some things about me already, but it's all good. Whatever impression you have of me, I say let's wipe the slate clean and just get to know each other. Oh yeah, then there's this little dude. That's Kakuku, my assistant. Sorrow vet in a different sense of the word, I guess. I hope the two of you will get along.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Getting Aoife is kind of nice, but I don't think I'm going to use him at all. The one character I really wanted from this banner, at least as a 4-star, is Fischl because I wanted to finally get her C6. And here is that C6 constellation I was talking about. I'm so happy I finally got it. Fischl is actually one of my favorite characters too, but her build kind of sucks, at least on my account. But this should hopefully help my Kuching and my DPS Fenty team significantly, and I was so happy to get her C6. Also, I want to know your guys' thoughts on the sped up wishing process. So, I am doing a voiceover, so I already know how this ends. But I did notice that me just clicking through everything one at a time took 9 minutes. And I really didn't like how long that was. So I decided to do times two speed to hopefully make it go by a little faster and make the watch more bearable. But do you prefer people clicking through things one at a time? Because I enjoy it personally, but as a viewer, I'm not too sure. And do you like it sped up, or would you just prefer the skip option where it's just going 10 at a time until maybe there's a 5-star and then like maybe going one by one? So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And here's where I got the wrong hydro cataclysm. Oh well, I mean, if it had to be anyone, Mona and Kuching are pretty good. Especially Mona with the new Hex Drive buff. So it's not the worst outcome, but I still would have really liked to win my 50-50. So luckily, 6 months of saving did allow me to farm enough primo gems for Columbina. I did take some breaks for, I think I took like a month break, maybe like a month and a half, because Genshin was getting a bit exhausting, but I was farming a lot. I was on for a long time. And the main thing I did, aside from just dailies, was exploring and then also world quest. So that's part of the reason I had so many primo gems. Same with events. I would just do whatever basically to get primo gems. And then I also had a good amount left over. I think like 100 wishes left over because I won my Skirk 50-50. So that's why I was able to save so much. So yeah, I'm really happy that I am guaranteed her. And finally, we see the 5-star.
You can call me Columbina, or Kutar, or Moon Goddess. Whatever you prefer. I'm used to having many names. The moon's blessing is yours, whenever you might find yourself in need.
And she is finally here. Hello, moon goddess, Miss Columbina. I'm so happy I finally got her. So now I'm going to work towards raising her as much as possible in one day, and then collecting some of the winter Islea for her ascension material. While I'm collecting some of the winter Islea, I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the Archon quest. So far, I would say Not Cry overall, the story is my second or third favorite Archon quest. Fontaine is still my favorite, but I do think there are things Not Cry did better than Fontaine. I would say it was the best in having multiple good side characters. Fontaine had Arlecchino, Nuvola, and Farina be the strongest characters, in my opinion. That's not to say other characters didn't get development, but they really focused on integrating the character's story into Not Cry. And you see that a lot with Neferf, especially, and Lauma. Lauma's actually my favorite character. I love her so much. And after the end of the Archon quest, I really appreciate Columbina's character so much more. Sandrone and Dottore. I think Dottore has to be one of my favorite villains in Genshin. Dottore's personality has just really grown on me since Sumeru, and having him return in Not Cry has been really nice. I would say what's been the most refreshing thing about his character is I don't feel the need to see the good in him. A lot of the more recent, I guess, Fatui have kind of been on our side, and I know Dottore is kind of turned on the Fatui, but it's nice to have just a bad person that doesn't really do good things. It's kind of refreshing to have in Genshin, at least. As for the story itself, I really loved the first and last act of the story, and especially seeing the Moon Sisters and also seeing how Columbina was able to kind of travel into the past, basically. I really love seeing that. As for the story as a whole, though, there were some parts in the middle that felt like a lot of
At the
filler or
festival, the night
felt
shall be illuminated.
unenjoyable. Kind of like the Fortress of Maripede, but like multiple times. The best example is when Durin, Wanderer, and Albedo are experimenting with the after images. I hated that portion. Like, yes, I see the importance, but I just hated the gameplay. I know it wasn't filler, but it just dragged on for way too long for me. I think the main reason I'm so impartial to part one is because I was really hooked by the story and Llama's story, as well as actually trying to infiltrate to a facility. It had fun gameplay, and also I felt that was interesting about. I believe was it a moon marrow or a relic, and going back to the Fatui for that, I found that to be very intriguing. And then as for the last act, just playing as Columbina, had to be my favorite part overall. And I believe this should be enough for her final ascension today. And then I'll finish ascending her later once I'm able to collect the final winter isleas.
By the iridescent moon, darkness shall be cast deeper into the shadows.
So I'll be leveling up her talents, and I believe the first priority is her elemental skill, and then her elemental burst. I'm not sure if you level them in tandem or whatnot, but I just leveled up her skill first. And then I also gave her prototype Amber. I kind of stole it from Nouvelette because I don't have anything else. And then we will fight the doctor. The team I started to go with farming is a hybrid bloom team with just Columbina, Kuki, Singcho, and Alhaitham. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite team with Columbina. My favorite team is actually my friendship team with her, which isn't at all in this video, unfortunately. And it's Columbina, Fischl, Farazan, and Venti. And it's really fun, in my opinion. It's just that there's no healing or defense, which makes it kind of squishy. But I did also kind of enjoy this Hyper Bloom team. I just found that it wasn't doing enough damage for me, or it just wasn't as fun. I've been really enjoying Venti a lot more with the Hexfry buff, so I think he's just one of my favorite DPSs now, especially since I can just spam auto attacks on the enemies. But I actually really enjoyed Dottoro's boss fight, more so the one that you don't play in the Archon quest, because I don't remember too much experiencing like the, oh, your controls are inverted or you can't move. It's a really interesting boss mechanic, and I'm really hoping they get more creative with some of the bosses in the game, because this domain boss has to be one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe I'm just a Dottore fan now. I've been converted.
How bold.
Alright, let me read you a verse. Know my sword.
Reverse.
I also really like Dottoro's theme. I think it's my second favorite boss theme in the game. It's really good. I mean, Sumeru has some of the best music. I would say Sumeru and Natlin are the best nations when it comes to music, so I was gonna love this theme no matter what.
Witness the power of Fuhua. Rain outlines your fate.
Did you honestly think that would hit me?
Rain. Our bond is strong. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Witness the power of Fuhua.
The process of elimination. Flicker.
And it's finally done. And I got some talent material for her. You should also get one of every talent material when you defeat the boss for the first time. So I was able to get her skill to level 8. So here we see the Alhaitham team again, or at least an Alhaitham Hyper Bloom with Columbina. And later on, I also used a Nuvolette team, but this is really where the Columbina and Venti team shines because of how Venti's able to group enemies. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of this just because I was not necessarily running out of time, but more so I didn't want the footage to become too long. And I really like the Nuvolette team more than the Alhaitham one. This one took quite a bit during the farming, and I was like, clearly I just need to do a different team or something. But I would say it was still fun.
Stand with me. Time to act. Rain cutter.
Currently, I'm still farming for her. It's been about a week since I originally filmed this video, and I really need a good energy recharge timepiece on her because she's going to be solo hydro on the team. At least she might be. I'm not sure how things will work once Shibai comes out because I might not get good Igaluk constellations, or I just don't have enough for a C6 Guru, so things might change, and this might not even be the best in slot artifact set for her, depending on the team, but I'm really hoping I get lucky with some constellations so I don't have to farm a new artifact set for her.
The Temple of Wisdom. Everyone hold hands.
Be sanctified. Bow your head.
Grow. Sharing my knowledge.
Midnight, then.
The tides beckon. Silence.
A moonlit night for all.
To be honest with you, I don't know why I didn't put Kuki on this team,
Make yourselves at home.
and I realize that now. I probably should have done that, especially since she has an artifact set for Hyper Bloom. But this team worked out pretty well. I would say the only annoying thing is that Columbina and Nuvolette share prototype Amber, so I did need to put that on him for the DPS to work out. And here, Columbina, or more so, my internet was being very slow, so it was glitching a bit. And Columbina had her eyes open with her mask on, so I guess you guys have that now. But I'm very happy that I finally got to ascend her, and I did level up her talents. I didn't show that here though. And I will show you my current build for her in the Akasha. So this is her current build. It's nothing crazy in my opinion. And like I said before, I just really want an energy recharge timepiece. I think she has enough HP already, and I just really want to work towards her energy recharge. It's pretty low in this build. Her crit rate is alright, but she really doesn't have any crit damage at all, so I'm hoping to improve that at some point. And that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your pulls for Columbina went well, if you did pull for her, and that you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.